Competitors take bad breaks and use them to drive themselves just that much harder. Quitters take bad breaks and use them as reasons to give up. This quote from Nancy Lopez has become something like a motto for my time at Seneca. I believe life isn't just what happens to you, it's how you react to it. A competitor positively reacts to a negative situation, while a quitter's reaction causes them to completely cave. Reflecting over my past 4 years, I've learned that shit happens, but I believe that a competitor rises above even when life keeps knocking them down. After I graduate from Seneca, I'll be moving on to play Division I sand volleyball at Stetson University. It's always been a dream of mine to continue my passion in college, and now that I've reached my goal, I can be proud of the journey that led me here. When I began, it's safe to say that I knew the destination would be rewarding, but I never could have guessed that it would be nearly this difficult. My first realization that playing in college would not be simple occurred when I visited San Diego for the 2012 Junior Olympics. New Jersey volleyball pales in comparison to California. I was stuck in the sand playing girls who had been practicing and training since they were practically in diapers. Meanwhile, my first touch on a volleyball was my freshman year. I was devastated thinking that my dream was just that, a dream, some idea so far-fetched to believe that I even had a chance. But after sadness, I was filled with determination. I refused to consider quitting as an option. That summer, I subjected myself to 2 practices and a workout session a day in order to play catch-up against my opponents. Hard work paid off and led me to being invited to a recruiting camp, but once again I was faced with another obstacle that was out of my control. Unfortunately, a week before the camp, I became really sick. Diagnosed with Mono the day before my plane left, I was faced with a decision. Would I compete or cave to my illness? I chose to push through fever, rash, and depletion and commit to a 4-hour showcase and a tournament the following day. Ultimately, my choice caused my spleen to become enlarged, forcing me to take the rest of the summer off. However, if I had decided to quit, I never would have met Stetson's coach and started the relationship that awarded me a spot on the team. In 1,000 Splendid Suns, Miriam was destined for a disaster-filled life as soon as she was born of her army. But throughout the novel, she was the most inspirational character because she was a competitor. She rose above every devastating situation. Miriam didn't give up when her mother committed suicide. She didn't give up when her father set up an arranged marriage. She didn't give up when her husband Rashid forced her to chew rocks to prove his dominance. Miriam was a competitor. She took every awful situation life threw her and made the decision to move past it. Hamlet made similar decisions in Shakespeare's play. It was completely out of his control when Hamlet's uncle murdered his father, married his mother, and took place as king. In these series of events, the easier option would be give up and quit. Hamlet could have accepted the crimes his uncle committed and fled to England, but he chose to compete. Hamlet stayed and swore to avenge his father's death. In Toni Morrison's Beloved, Setha's daughter Denver was a competitor. Being ignored by her mother throughout her childhood caused her to have a resentment towards Setha. When supernatural powers brought Beloved back to life, Denver was once again placed in the shadow, while Setha showed primary concern for Beloved. When Beloved's presence caused Setha to become sick, Denver rose above Setha's previous disinterest in her and got the community together to help her mother recover. Denver was a competitor because she was able to look past her resentment for Setha. Willow, in Jodi Picoult's novel Handle with Care, is the poster child for a competitor. She was born with severe osteogenesis imperfecta, a rare disease that causes bones to become fragile and snap with the slightest movements. Willow doesn't let her disease define her. While other children are running around, she chooses to move past her disability and excel in academics. Her bones may break with ease, but her competitive attitude never does. Sickness and an obvious disadvantage I had compared to my opponents gave me what I thought were justifiable excuses as to why I wouldn't be able to achieve my goal. But there's no way quitting was an option. Putting in the hard work to overcome those roadblocks made achieving my dream that much more satisfying. I learned how to be a competitor by choosing to react positively when things weren't going my way. As we go through life, there's always going to be some sort of obstacle that tests your desires. Life will always find a way to figure out how bad you want something. It all comes down to whether you decide to be a competitor or a quitter. This I believe.